Okay. How was this activity, Chloe? Was it difficult?
Yes, because it's my first time.
Okay, so let's do it here. So, what did they said that you should do as a disposal vehicle too, right? So the cost price of vehicle two, they provided you with the cost price. It's 367,500. So let's do asset disposal. Therefore, here we do asset disposal of vehicle, right? On the debit side, will write vehicle, and then I said that will write their cost price. Write the cost price of that vehicle. Can I how much? Is 367,500. Therefore, you debit the amount.
So,
You're on the debit side, you will debit this amount, 367,500.
so I have,
Are you able to hear me?
yes, so I would like to ask how do you know which amount to choose? Because there are three amounts. There's one that is older, and then there's other two. So how do you know which one to choose?
You still remember the question? What do you ask? They said that should do, they said we should do asset disposal of vehicle two. Asset disposal of vehicle two, right? We have the date
Okay,
of purchase. Vehicle two was bought on the 1st of July. It was bought with how much? They give you the cost price of it, which is 367,500. They provided you with the cost price of it. And then also they provided you with the accumulated depreciation of that vehicle at the beginning. So you have your cost price, accumulated depreciation at the beginning. That's what you have. Hence, there on the T account of our asset disposal, we debited that 367,500. We debited that 367,500. And then remember that let's go to the credit side. On the credit side, I said that you have asset disposal. I said, what is your asset disposal? Pardon me there. On the credit side, you have accumulated depreciation. I said that the value of the accumulated depreciation, what are you going to record there? Is basically the accumulated depreciation at the beginning of the year. You are going to add it with the depreciation of the current financial year. They also provided you with the value of accumulated depreciation at the beginning, in which accumulated depreciation at the beginning amounted to 91,875. This is it. 91,875. That is your accumulated depreciation at the beginning. 91,875. Here you are going to record it in your structure. At the beginning, 91, 91,875. And then you will add it with the depreciation of the current financial year, which is you are going to calculate the depreciation of that asset that you sold. You are going to calculate the depreciation of that asset that you sold. So check, they say that B, depreciation are calculated at 20% per annum on the cost price. Meaning for you to calculate the depreciation, you'll say your cost price 367,500, right? Multiply by your rate of depreciation. We use the cost price method, and according to the cost price method, in order for us to calculate the depreciation, we are going to use our cost price, which is how much? 20%. Multiply by what? Remember, you're calculating the depreciation of the asset that you sold. Meaning you're going to multiply by the months in which you used your asset for in the current financial year. You did not use your asset for 12 months. In order for you to calculate the months or to know the months in which you use your asset for, you are going to read this statement. They said on the 31st of July 2021, vehicle number 2 was written off by insurance company after a large tree fell on the vehicle, crashing it. On the 31st of July, that's when we stopped using our vehicle because a large tree fell on it. Meaning we started to use our vehicle from when we open our business up until the 31st of July. Throw up your financial year. You know your financial year is important. You know financial year. Your financial year ends on the 28th of February. 28th February 2022, right? And then you know that the financial year begins when? On the 1st of March 21. In your statement, they say that on the 31st of July, meaning you stop using your vehicle on the 31st of July, you will highlight it in your financial year. July is probably here. July 31st. Meaning for the current financial year, you use the vehicle from the 1st of March up until the 31st of July. Why up until the 31st of July? Because on the 31st of July, a light tree fell on our car and then it crashed it. And then we cannot use a vehicle that has been crashed. So we use it for how many months? From March up until July, which is how many months? You will calculate it with your finger. It's March, April, May, June, July. It's 5 months. You only use it for 5 months. Therefore, you'll say multiply by the months in which you use it for 5 over 12. And then you will get your depreciation. And then we get how much? 367,500.
So it's 30625.
30,
3,600. 30625.
30625.
Yes, sir.
Let me also. Can I confirm it? Okay. Let me confirm. 367,500, right? Multiply by 20%. Multiply by 5 over 12. Yeah, that's correct. That is your depreciation for the current financial year. And then you are correct. And then we say that accumulated depreciation there. We'll add that value, which is how much? 30. 625, right? And then you got it. And then you say 91,875. 91,875 plus 30,625. 91,875 plus 30,625. And then I get 122,500. Please confirm it. Do you get the same amount?
Yes, sir.
And then let's complete our statement. So no, right now I think we are left out with what this part of bank creditors control or debtors control. Let's read our statement to understand it furthermore. So let us read our statement. As per the insurance contract, that's the keyword you highlight. As per the insurance contract, 90% of the book value of the vehicle on the date of the accident was paid to tender. So the insurance did not pay us. They paid us 90% of the carrying value of that vehicle when it got crashed. 90% of the carrying value of that vehicle when it crashed. How are you going to get your carrying value? You get your carrying value by saying what? You get your carrying value by saying cost. You get your carrying value by saying how much? Cost minus accumulated depreciation. They say that the insurance paid us 90% of the carrying value of our vehicle. How do you get our carrying value? You get it by saying cost meaning 367,500 minus accumulated depreciation, in which accumulated depreciation amounted to minus 122,500. And then we'll get our carrying value. And then 367,500 minus 122,500, we get how much?
So it's 245,000.
245. 245, right?
245,000.
And then remember, they say that insurance paid us 90% of our carrying value. How much is our carrying value? Carrying value is 245,000 rand. And then the insurance paid us 90% of the carrying value. Therefore, we'll say multiply by 90%. We say that the insurance paid us 90% of the carrying value. We'll say carrying value multiplied by 90% to get the amount that the insurance paid us. 245.
So
So how much?
it's 220,500.
Yeah, 220,500. And then you write it as bank. You receive cash, right? You receive cash. And then here you write 220,500. And then when you're at this point, you'll check which side is the bigger side. I think let's add our credit side to see how much we actually get. So let's say 220,500 plus 122,500. And then we get 343,000 rand.
Yes, sir.
You get 343, therefore the debit side is the bigger side, right? The debit side is the bigger side. Therefore, we'll have here 367. You did a loss. 367,500. You saw quickly the debit side is the bigger side. Write it like this. 367,500. And then you did a loss. And then write it here. Loss on the sale of asset. We did a loss. Question is how much will be our loss? Question is how much will be our loss? So how are we going to get our loss? We'll basically say 367,500 minus 220,500 minus this amount. 367,500 minus 220,500 and also minus 122,500. And then we'll get the loss that we made on that asset.
So I got 24,000.
Got how much? 24,000?
24,500.
That will be your loss, 24,500. The loss that you made. Kindly mark yourself. Try to see where you made errors. So the loss that we made was 24,500.
So, sir,
Okay, you can ask.
so if it was profit, how are we going to do it? We're gonna say we want everything else. Like if it was profit,
If you just a
we're
profit,
gonna add.
if ever the profit, you did a profit, let's make an example, hypothetically so, it was going to be a profit if ever, let's just say, we're just making an example, right? Let's just say, maybe the only thing that we can change is this one. Let's just say, it's an example. Here it was 300,000 now. You're going to check which side is the bigger side, right? You're going to check which side is the bigger side, meaning you're going to add your credit side. How are you going to add your credit side to say 300,000 plus 122,500? 300,000 plus 122,500, in which you get how much? I think 422,500. Therefore, you can clearly see that your credit side is the bigger side, right? Because your credit side is 422,500, whereas your debit side is 367. So the credit side is the bigger side. Credit side is the bigger side. And then you're going to say 422,500 here. And then you'll get your profit. How are you going to get your profit? We'll say profit here. Profit on the sale of asset. When you get your profit, you're going to say 422,500 minus 367,500. Then you're going to record your profit there. Did I answer your
Yes,
question?
thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then that's how we did our thing. Remember, asset disposal, you record what you sold. How did you do this? We dealt with this one by saying it was 24,500. Ne? Started by recording your cost price on the debit side. That I said that you always record your cost price, in which amounted to 367,500. We debited it. And then on the credit side, you record the accumulated depreciation. Our accumulated depreciation, basically, we say that this is the aggregate depreciation. You say accumulated depreciation at the beginning, plus the depreciation for the current financial year. At the beginning one, they did provide you with it, 9,275, and then we added it with the depreciation for the current financial year, and then which gave us 122,500. And then the bank was the money that we received. We did it by saying current value of our asset multiplied by 90%, in which you got 220,500. And then we just check which side is the bigger side, which was the debit side. And then we recorded all of the relevant amounts. And then that's how but then the session, this session was recorded, right?